Now available in paperback and coming to Kindle Unlimited. John Haynes, Dark Succubus. The man who rules the world is tempted by a sultry succubus in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Dark Succubus in paperback or pre-order on Kindle Unlimited today. House Negro GREA-Z recently made a statement where he said that single-parent households are the reason for police brutality. And this statement that he made on a panel with your Bob Kraft and your Van Jones shows that your GREA-Z, also formerly known as Jay-Z, is now a house Negro who is sitting up in the big house, buck dancing and bojangling for them butter biscuits and looking to deflect and avoid making his slave masters accountable for their actions and the actions of racist police officers who go out here and brutalize young black brothers and young black sisters. Now, this statement that your GREA-Z has made is that growing up in single-parent households causes people to have an adverse feeling towards authority, which causes them to tell police F you, resulting in interactions that causes people to lose their lives. And for your GREA-Z to make this kind of statement really is hypocritical, because your GREA-Z was the one out here who was a former drug dealer who has that adverse feeling towards authority, who was the one promoting in many of his rap lyrics, telling young black boys and young black girls to say F you, and he was the one who was promoting the image of the thug and the gangster out here for many young brothers and sisters to follow during the 1990s. So for your GREA-Z to sit there and blame single-parent households for police brutality when he was the one out here selling drugs in the black community and terrorizing the black community, and was the one who perpetuated and promoted many of the behaviors and supported those behaviors in the black community through his drug dealing, and in his rap lyrics he was the one who promoted the whole stereotype of the thug, the gangster. He was the one who promoted these images in the black community and promoted this narrative for young black boys and young black girls to follow. Moreover, he reinforced this idea in many white racist police officers' minds that this is the natural behavior for black children. This is hypocritical coming from your GREA-Z, this buck dancing, bojangling, steppin' fetch it minstrel, for him to sit there and say single parent households are the reason for police brutality. No, you had a hand in this, GREA-Z, and you had a major hand in this because you promoted a lot of the ideas and reinforced the ideas in many of these white supremacist police officers' minds that this was a social norm for black children. Now, when I look at your GREA-Z and his disingenuous statement, what he doesn't understand is that single-parent households aren't the reason for police brutality, and that his reasoning, talking about how a single-parent household is the reason for police brutality, again, this is a deflection to avoid making these white racists accountable for their actions, because the reason for your police brutality against black people is the racist views that these police officers have against black people. They could see any black person as somebody they want to target for police brutality, and it doesn't have to do with people from single-parent households being defiant from authority figures, because a lot of these racist officers, when they see a educated, professional black man dressed in a suit, a lot of them get jealous of that professional black man because they feel that that's an uppity N-word who thinks that he's white, and what they want to do with their brutality is put that N-word in his place and let him know who is in charge. So your GREA-Z really doesn't understand what is the reason for police brutality, and that is envy of black people and black people who they feel are not being in the place that they want them to be. And what, again, they can take a black man who is an executive, because a lot of CEOs have been racially profiled by racist police officers, and they have been attacked by racist police officers who have been angry about their lives. And when they see this black man who is in a well-dressed in a suit and in a tie, they want to target him for their violence, and they want to put that black man in the place they believe is underneath them. And a lot of these racist police officers, they want to go after black people because they just see a black person not being in the place they think they should be. Because some of these racist officers, they see black people coming into another neighborhood and they'll profile that person. And again, that has nothing to do with them having an adverse feeling towards authority. A lot of those people, like that black man in a suit, or those brothers who go to another neighborhood to either go help out a white friend or go to a business or even go to work, they aren't having an adverse feeling towards authority. A lot of times these black people are compliant. A lot of times these black people are submissive, but they wind up getting brutalized by police officers who abuse their power, and they abuse their power because of their hatred of black people. And your GREA-Z, by giving these officers an excuse, shows how little he cares about the black community and how much he supports your white supremacy. Because for your GREA-Z to make that kind of deflection shows us that your GREA-Z is not a friend to black people, and that your GREA-Z has sold out the black community. Because for him to say that it's all about single mothers, that's really not the reason why we have this police brutality. The reason why we have this police brutality is because we have officers who are racist, we have officers who are biased, and we have officers who believe they are above the laws of our United States and want to abuse the laws of the United States and abuse the authority and power that they have to oppress black people. That's the reason why we have police brutality. And brutal police officers don't only just go after black people from single mother households, they also terrorize Latinos, they terrorize Asians, they even terrorize other white people. And your brutal cop is one of the most dangerous people to have on a police force, because brutal cops destroy the trust between the community and law enforcement. But your GREA-Z, he would rather buck dance for these butter biscuits rather than hold people accountable, because your GREA-Z believes that now that he's in the big house with the white folks, he's got to go along with the white folks in order to continue getting the butter biscuits. That's why I call him GREA-Z, because your GREA-Z, his lips are greasy from all of the butter biscuits he's been eating, along with all of the fried chicken. And he is greasy because he is sleazy. And your GREA-Z is one of the worst things to ever happen to the black community, because this man has exploited the black community in two ways. He has exploited the black community first by promoting selling drugs to our own people. One. Two, he has gone out here and promoted this thug and gangsta image to all of these young brothers and sisters out here with his rap music. And now he has sold completely out to these white folks, And now that he is buck dancing and bojangling for those white folks, he shows us that he is not a person who we need to see as a ally in the black community. He is somebody we need to see as an enemy in the black community. And the reason why we need to see him as an enemy in the black community is because this man is not concerned with the image of young brothers and sisters. He is not concerned with the collective of young brothers and sisters out here. He is concerned only about himself, and he's always concerned about is getting more butter biscuits on his plate from his white NFL slave masters and whoever will give him butter biscuits and fried chicken, than concerned with protecting and preserving and building a strong black community. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up my SJS Direct publications, which feature positive images of black people and positive stories about black people, you may click the link to Amazon.com to pick up those books in paperback and Kindle format. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.